but he's still only guaranteed a top 4.
That's true.
He has not yet gotten into the top 3.
That's true. And I love that even though Sandstorm is sort of like the normal person to be here, he's still shaking things up with this core pick, embodying the Winter Championship himself with this Snowman core, refusing to play any other character really today.
Yeah, getting complete stats. We got a 33rd for Sandstorm at 2018 Winter Championship, 7th at 2019, 5th at 2020, and 9th in 2021. So he is definitely guaranteed to get a better finish this year.
Snowy coming out with that big axe. His axe has been so good. It's really been a lot of the game changer here. It was the down signature that started the edge guard from hell, if you're Luna, earlier, that let Snowy move on past that set. That's been one of his main comeback mechanics, to keep himself alive in these games and also push these leads in the game, which he has currently right now.
On the other side, it's been Sandstorm's gauntlets that have been really bringing him into a bunch of the matches. His hammer has been there, but he hasn't been finding as much success as he has with his gauntlets. But right now, he needs to start finding some success with his hammer, because that's a weapon in hand, and he's behind in the damage.
Oh, he didn't get the punish after that side signature. Snowy pulled out of it early enough that Sandstorm wasn't in the right place at the right time to be able to find the punish. Snowy was able to jump out of it. Oh, he panicked for a second. You saw the quick jump coming out, but he maintained control, held his composure. Sandstorm wasn't ready for the bonk either. Nice weapon toss there. That gives Snowy some room to get back, maintain the stage control, grab the weapon control as well.
Oh my goodness, but Sandstorm has been missing punishes. Snowy's not going to miss that one, though.
I can't believe we didn't see maybe a signature punish there, because the neutral light almost didn't kill. It was from center stage.
I thought he was going to have to go for the weapon toss and make sure that he finished off the stock, but fortunately had just enough heat on it. Sandstorm, he's behind. A down sig will not be enough, and look at him. That's the second time he's gone for like down move, miss, jump, gravity cancel, down move. He was doing it with the hammer with the stomps, and now he's trying to do it with the gauntlets.
I like the idea of that too, because we didn't really see that in one of the previous sets when Ajax and I were calling a Sandstorm set earlier. The down sig was usually one of his stock finishers, but he only really threw one of them out, and honestly, it would be at like the very end of the game when he really needed to finish off the final stock of his opponent. So we're already seeing changes to his gameplay.
Yeah, got to make those slight adjustments against each opponent. But down sig, that's the first time I've seen it in the matches I was watching of Sandstorm. Didn't really get much after it, though.
It happened twice during the Ajax set with me. One hit, one didn't hit. That time, Snowy thought he could outrun it and outpace it. You saw him just running. He had plenty of time to jump in the air, but he thought he had enough space. That hammer swing, though, reached out far enough. He didn't quite know how to respond to that to get away from it, just because it's a rare signature to see.
Yeah, it can be a bit awkward. It does have a lot of movement. Great down signature from Sandstorm. Launches Snowy, but the pickup gets a two-piece and the weapon toss for the extra credit. You see the down sig again. This is what we were talking about. He's really using these down sigs for KOs.
You even heard the sound of it come out, and Snowy got the interrupt just in time, or he certainly would have been taken out. That time it's a recovery after the many attempted down signatures, swapping over to the hammer, throwing that away immediately, grabbing the fresh weapon spawn. So it is going to be a little bit of time before the next spawn comes in. Looks like Sandstorm might have control of it.
Misread.
Went for the big read there. Not sure if it was a big read or if he happened to miss input in the wrong direction. Either way, that was a tough 50-50 to lose. He's going to lose the stock as well. Snowy's going to have control of the weapon's going to juggle only once to maintain control of the axe.
Yeah, he went for that coin flip there, and unfortunately, with the way it landed, it definitely worked out for Snowy. Final stocks here for game number 1. Remember, we're on the winner's side, but the winner of this is a guaranteed top 2 finish. You know they both want it. Sandstorm to break the curse. Snowy to just show how good he can play and knock out someone of Sandstorm's caliber.
So they're on final stocks here. Snowy is behind in terms of the health deficit. That's continuing as Sandstorm builds up some of this damage, finding nice 2 hits for almost every single one of Snowy has. So it's about the same rate, but Sandstorm is already ahead, finds the down signature, that classic finisher that he's using now almost every time, takes the first game.
He's really trying to change the stats, man. He wants to make it seem like his favorite signature is core gauntlet down signature, because he's throwing those out like candy.
It's a good one. It really is a good one. It hits stack, it hits left, it hits right, it hits all around you. And even when you gravity cancel it, if you do it just low enough, you'll hit a grounded person and a slightly aerial person in all of those directions, including right on top of you.
Yeah, it's so good the way that it hits both forward and backwards, just a lot of really low coverage. This comparison isn't 100%.
Oh, I love these.
And so that's what makes it awkward to say.
Please say
but
it.
the way that he used to use Gauntlet down signature on Mordex, like he just threw those out like candy. I feel like he's got that same mentality without the same movement inside of it, right? Like he's just throwing it out at just outside of range.
It's scary because if Snowy thinks he has the safe initiation, he has to worry about, even if he overshoots Sandstorm and goes beyond him, he can still get picked up by that. That comes out in time. It's also, as we've seen many times, a KO move. Not just a signature that he hits middle of the stage, but it'll KO from the middle of the stage as well.
I like that down toss. He did the modified Russian Mafia, but it was so early that he didn't really have much else after it.
Nice.
Weapon toss again, trying to take some pages out of the Snowy playbook, and he does deny the weapon as well.
Snowy certainly in the lead here, but if we talk about some history between these two, the set count is definitely in favor of Sandstorm. 1-6 total. That is a huge deficit the way of Sandstorm. Snowy is going to do everything he absolutely can to make sure that does not continue. Start to wrestle that back in his favor because he has a huge lead this game, has almost weapon control. He decided to go in with the unarmed sidelight rather than go to the right side of the stage and pick up the weapon.
That's definitely a Snowy classic, right? Is he'd rather be present, rather keep that pressure going than try to go immediately for a weapon. Sandstorm again going for the vert, but it's Snowy with the horizontal, the side air to get the stock lead, and he's got a lot of health.
Has his choice of weapons, going to go back to the axe that he chose to stay away from earlier when he went back in unarmed. Going to have another weapon there. He's going to juggle those back and forth, keeping those weapon tosses coming in true Snowy fashion. It's now this axe against the gauntlets of Sandstorm. He has to find the KO. This is his KO weapon that he can maybe hit a dash D-sig in. That time he went for the neutral signature, catching high. Would have been a huge dunk. Oh, the side air is going to take away that stock for sure.
The battle between Snowy and the Snowman, which one is more important? We'll find out, but Sandstorm does find that evener. It's interesting, he's been going for side airs off of like not the characteristic things. He went for downlight into side air, and that time it was side light into an immediate jump side air.
It is a gauntlet fight for both of these players. Neutral lights coming out, nairs coming out. They got a lot of the similar ideas. You see him nairing one right after the other.
Just trying to trade back and forth, but Snowy knows the axe is his weapon of choice. It's the thing that's been able to chunk better against Sandstorm.
Snowy playing a little bit more defensive here. He happens to whip.
Caught him.
That puts Sandstorm. I was about to call him Santy after seeing this core. The neutral signature, the rare neutral signature. And then that neutral light didn't drop, even though he started to lower himself a little bit, catching that one first off stage.
I'm surprised Sandstorm challenged that GCN sig. So many. Oh, he's good. He's good. Didn't jump into the recovery. That time Sandstorm connects, and Snowy has the movement. He's going to make it to the outside.
What a beautiful neutral signature. That very well could have made a connection there. That would have grabbed Snowy from the top of the platform, sending him down, but it's the side signature reaching out. It's good that Core's arms aren't really attached very well to the body so that he can reach, he can stretch, sort of a Rayman property, if you will.
As you were saying it, I was like, man, we really got two limbless guys fighting it out right now. Snowy gonna sit on the edge here. Sandstorm doesn't really have the same kind of edge guarding tools that Snowy would have, right? Like those down signatures.
What?
And wow, he was going for some style there.
I don't know what he had in mind. I feel like he probably had something in mind there. I don't know how you would really misinput a throw like that. Oh, Snowy almost countered that. Sandstorm now coming in.
I don't think the throw was the misinput. I think that second downlight was.
Okay.
Because he had the stomp, and then he went for the throw. If he had gone aerial for like a dare, I could see something there. Down sig connects. Stomp side air, and Sandstorm's up 2-0. Is he going to break the curse?
He might. I mean, the curse is already partially broken, given that he's made it this far in tournament. How confident he looks right now, I would definitely lean towards that camp. He's already up 2-0. He struggled in some previous games today that went all the way to Game 5. All of the Game 5 games kind of started with either him going down first or a tug of war back and forth that ended up in the 5th place. It's surprising for me if this makes it to a Game 5 situation when Sandstorm is up 2-0.
He's definitely up big, and of course, Sandstorm, with all the sheer amount of experience he has, will generally be able to adapt. But we've seen Snowy also able to make those comebacks. We've seen Snowy also able to put himself on the board. We'll see if he can do it here against Sandstorm. Game number 3. Sandstorm's 1 game away from going into the grand finals.
If we're looking at spread of damage between these two players, coming in is Snowy with about an even spread, 215 damage and 216 damage. He might also get the stock here. Gonna use the unarmed kit as well to finish that one up, taking that nice early stock, less than 30 seconds. But on the other side, Sandstorm is leaning a little bit more into the gauntlets with 321 damage last game compared to the 194 on Hammer.
Yeah, but we're now seeing Snowy bring out those gauntlets, able to put out so much damage. Got that first stock borderline untouched, and now he's looking for another one as Sandstorm is, he's lapped right now.
There is a weapon spawn. Snowy is very careful. Threw a couple jumps in there before going back to the ground. Sandstorm is going to control these weapons. He knows how important that is, limiting the damage output, limiting the KO potential that Snowy has. It's going to be really tough, especially when Snowy is splitting his weapons so evenly. Whether he gets the axe or the gauntlets, it doesn't really matter for Snowy. Keeping him unarmed is the best option.
Even then, he's definitely shown he's got some unarmed in the kit. He's not going to be completely uncomfortable.
Oh, this is looking really tough very early on for Sandstorm. Even after that, Snowy is continuing this. He is barely in the stages of orange right now. Gauntlets in hand, weapon spawn comes in. Sandstorm grabs it very early, but no matter what's in Sandstorm's hand, he's not really able to do much with it this game.
Yeah, Sandstorm has barely found any footing into this game. Snowy's looking to 3-stock Sandstorm in game number 3. Sandstorm just trying to deny it right now. The neutral sig almost connecting.
Ooh, the later stages of that neutral light. Nice spot dodge there. Insig, a little bit premature. Snowy wasn't anywhere near there. I don't think he could physically get anywhere near there to run into that neutral signature. Sandstorm still trying as hard as he can to find the stock. He would much rather a side air than the side light that he actually found a connection with.
There's that side air off the back of a stomp. Sandstorm able to get a stock off of Snowy, but Snowy's got 2 more.
Not afraid to really go in with the unarmed kit, but there is a weapon spawn on the field, so he is going to make a major retreat run all the way across the stage with Sandstorm hot on his heels. Now Snowy's the one with weapon advantage. Sandstorm not too afraid to go in, going to be able to put in some unarmed damage, grab the hammer as well, hit a nice nair. Some juggle opportunities coming in for Sandstorm. The Miami Dome, giving those soft platforms there for Snowy to land on, makes it back to the main stage.
Seeing Snowy, he knows the lead that he has over Sandstorm. He's doing his best not to throw it, and he's getting hit after hit, trying to do it as safe as possible.
Wow.
The neutral light to cover.
Wow, it was like no recovery after that minimally charged side signature turned around, covered it with a neutral light. He has Sandstorm very much in the red. Oh, he went for the GCD light to get the recovery, finds the KO anyway. Snowy fighting his way back into this. I expected this after those first 2 games to be a 3-0, but Snowy will never go down for the count.
I know I said he has the potential to put himself on the board, get a game, but what an explosive way to take that game 3. Generally speaking,
that's huge.
In these 5-game situations, you'll see game 3 be that one that it's like, it's close, and then they build that momentum. But to come out swinging in game 3, massive for Snowy.
Game 4 situation coming in, leaving the Miami Dome for the familiar plains of the Mammoth Fortress.
Yeah, of course the grass always greener on the other Mammoth Fortress. Sandstorm trying to get some damage built up. He's looking better. Nice triple stomp. Getting damage after damage, getting as much as he can get.
After last game, Sandstorm making sure that you know he's not swagless after he got style on. Oh, 2 close whiffs from both players there.
Sandstorm just eating that axe to the face, stomp side air. Really looking to put this one away.
Oh, the coverage on that was so good. We're going to have to see that one slow down to see how much lateral area left and right Sandstorm was at. He was right next to that weapon toss. His timing on positioning was so good.
That was impressive. That's one of those situations where it seems like mental stack, right? It seems like he's just trying to distract with this weapon toss, but really he's looking for the GC end line. But no, that weapon toss was equally fatal.
We're seeing the complete 180 this game. Sandstorm using those 180s as well with a down air to send from down to up. kind of change that momentum around of where Snowy's character is. Of course, using that recovery as well. Snowy doing a great job tying it up after it looked like it was going to be in Sandstorm's favor for quite some time.
Yeah, Snowy really making sure that Sandstorm can't run away with this. Don't let him build up too much momentum, but Sandstorm with the weapon advantage went for the gravity cancel side signature, and again, Snowy sitting around that corner, taking his time. He's got the gauntlets in hand.
Wonder if he goes for the insig next time to change it up from the side signature. If he catches Snowy jumping, there's an insig coming out. He also covers the miss. Adds just a little bit more damage onto Snowy. Sandstorm definitely in the lead here. It's gauntlet v gauntlet. There will be a weapon spawn coming in shortly. We'll see if either player opts to go for it or if they want to just fight the gauntlet fight.
Well, right now, Snowy going over to the axe.
Nice dodge.
Immediately throws it away. He got through that side signature, though. A sig from Sandstorm could be deadly. Snowy being careful about where he positions.
Saw him go for that pivot dare that got Sandstorm up onto the soft platform. That weapon spawn goes straight to Snowy. Sandstorm in no place to interrupt it and swipe the weapon out from under him. Both players doing a lot of movement before they commit to a move. Little bit of defense coming out from both players. The stomp side air from Sandstorm. Weapon toss goes out. Snowy gets above it, dodges straight up. That keeps him away, but the D-Light ground pound finds its mark nonetheless later on as Sandstorm takes the stock. Huge lead here. This game 4 might be curtains for Snowy's winner's bracket run.
And all of that second stock KO was off the back of some fantastic movement of Sandstorm, utilizing that soft platform to catch the dash jump of Snowy. And now it's final stock here for Snowy. He needs to find the evener ASAP. Good job getting out of that. That downlight could have been dangerous.
If Sandstorm starts off with the grounded D-Light, we could see him go for that in-light again as the follow-up on a low health target using gauntlets, but no, he's swapping over to the hammer. Haven't seen too many hammer signatures coming out. I still think a stomp stare from virtually everywhere, but the wrong side of the stage! Snowy is going to knock that stock out.
He rode the rail, and unfortunately for Sandstorm, he was at the end of it, got caught, and the stocks are evened up. All right, Snowy starting to chunk. Starting to dirty that snow on Sandstorm Snowman. All right, nice little neutralize. Sandstorm trying to fight back, but Snowy really wants to take this to game 5.
Both of them trying to find their way in. Snowy lands with a down air. Of course, all the weapon tosses of a classic Snowy game coming out. Gauntlet v Gauntlet throws it away, doesn't want him now. Was hoping to interrupt some of this momentum that Sandstorm has. We are dead even in this game 4 situation. A victory for Snowy means a game 5. A victory for Sandstorm means a guaranteed top 2. The curse being all but completely forgotten for Sandstorm in the Winter Championships.
The sidelight from Snowy keeping him alive. He beat out the side signature from Sandstorm, but Sandstorm's denying weapon after weapon. Almost caught him with that gravity canceled side sig. Snowy's got an X.
Ooh, barely gets through that one.
Oh, the sidelight. Does he have it? Does he have it?
Oh!
Snowy doesn't get the edge guard.
He was just a little bit too low. He went in for the GCD light. Sandstorm has an unarmed Snowy on the other side, continuing that as he picks up the hammer. Stomp Sarah will definitely do it. He even looked for a down air. That unarmed recovery almost took Sandstorm off the top. Both of these players are so close to being taken out. It was a fight for that weapon. Sandstorm even dodged to get away from the immediate wake-up attack. This one goes to Snowy as well. It's a game 5 situation. Snowy will just not lay down and die.
He won't give up. Every time a nail gets put in the coffin, Snowy punches the lid, and we're going to game 5.
Look at this. Here's the slow motion. His timing on that was impeccable. Now, if he wanted it to really be perfect, he probably should have gravity cancel neutral lighted the other direction.
Yeah, cover more space.
He did overlap in a little bit of a Venn diagram situation, but his timing on it, man, I can't get over how he was at the perfect level alongside that weapon toss.
And man, this final stock was the Snowy coverage, denying weapon after weapon. He was so close, and finally caught the movement of Sandstorm for that sidelight recovery. Holy cow.
Beautiful game. One thing though, 645 damage dealt by Snowy. That's a lot. He's averaging quite a bit of damage to finally get all 3 stocks off of Sandstorm. That gives Sandstorm a lot of time to deal with it. Let's look at that graph, do some analysis on that graph. That first stock, Snowy lost that so quickly. That was in like the first 10% of the game, maybe even quicker than that, and he already lost that stock.
Yeah, but you got to see, like, they're desynced, right? You see those two pyramids. They're desynced for a little bit, but look at the end. That's where they sync up, and it goes in favor of Snowy. Really good job from him to try to push each stock. Like, yes, he lost early, but he started pushing that second and third stock so that he could go the distance and get that W. And now we're going to game 5.
It's going to be a good one.
Game 5.
One player, I mean, I hate to say this because it's the most obvious thing on the planet. One player will be moving on into the grand finals. One player will be going down into the losers bracket. After last game, Snowy's clutch ability in these situations, he was down 0-2 in the set. Who in their right mind would say, yeah, Snowy down 0-2 in the set against Sandstorm? I think we're going to see a game 5 situation. If you say that, you're trying to bet against the odds because you want a big payday.
Always got to play those odds. Snowy going for the gamble on the offstage. Sandstorm going in, taking that gamble. Snowy's still getting wall touches, those weapon tosses, protecting his head.
Snowy really going in on that one. That was a bet that might even make Trainwreck's TV blush.
Shameless, as he might say. But Snowy, he's back up. He has the gauntlets. We saw those exclamation points come out, which means that wall slip was starting to hit. Goes for the second recovery. Sandstorm avoids it. Weapon advantage to Sandstorm, but Snowy gets the lucky spawn.
We have had some very lucky weapon spawns today for the non-armed player. The person at a weapon disadvantage has been able to play defensively quite a lot today. The D-Light didn't quite make a connection. No follow-up after that, after the Sig that whiffed. One of the few gauntlet side signatures we've seen Snowy actually hit.
Sandstorm threads the needle, gets just past the ground pound, avoids the weapon toss, avoids the down air, gets the scoop up. Who's going to get this first stock? They're both playing this first stock like it's their last stock, and that's what happens when you go into a game 5.
It's a minute and 40 seconds into this is a very long first stock.
Oh my gosh.
Just a neutralite was all Snowy felt comfortable doing. He thought he might be too stacked maybe for the D-Light option. From the wrong side of the stage, a minute and 50 seconds in until the first stock was taken. So much respect from Sandstorm given to Snowy. Of course, the same to be said for Snowy onto Sandstorm. These two players are so evenly matched.
He does find the neutral air, so he's going to get the KO, but man, he went for a dash jump charged weapon toss at Snowy on the edge, and that's what ended up getting him caught. Sandstorm, though, he's fine. Stock count evened up, weapon advantage to him, but he throws away the hammer.
A lot of weapon tosses coming from Sandstorm here against Snowy. I feel like on average, he's just throwing his weapon a lot more. I don't know if that's just a Snowy thing because Snowy is also doing it, showing how successful it is. We see a lot of weapon tosses in current Brawlhalla meta, Snowy being probably one of the most throwingest players out there, but Sandstorm doing definitely his share of weapon tosses today.
It might be one of those things, right, where you see your opponent doing something a lot, so you do it too, right? We'll see people go like, oh, you're winning with Scythe, I'll swap to a Scythe character too. But now it's Sandstorm saying, you're doing a lot of opening with these weapon tosses. I've got some weapon tosses of my own.
And he's playing with Hammer, which has a huge thrown hitbox when tossed out there. That's something that Sandstorm might not really be too used to. Yeah, he has it with Magyar, which has 2 large weapons to throw, but maybe he's feeling that weapon throw hitbox a little bit more now that he has a large weapon in his hands. Stomp side air. We are about 3 minutes and 15 seconds in. Both of these players are still on their second stocks.
Oh,
Big
snap.
side air. Is he going to have enough? He was caught in the air. I'm not sure if he has enough to get back.
Ooh,
Even with the side air. Wow. I cannot believe that was a touch.
That top hat touching the side, but Sandstorm still falls. And now Snowy, if he can survive for 4 minutes, he goes home with the gold. You see him, he wants to push this advantage. We saw how good he was at extending those stocks in the last game. He's going to try to extend this one as well.
I think Sandstorm's lucky that he's wearing that skin which has the top hat because Core is balder than Roxatricity after he shaved his head after the Gravity Cancel podcast. So having that hat gave him just a little bit more to get towards that, being a bald snowman.
Yeah, got to get that little bit, those extra pixels. It doesn't actually give pixels for what it's worth, but emotionally it does.
Sorry, I just felt like doing some lying real quick on the desk.
Well, hey, you got to support Bald's got to support Bald.
That's true.
Stomp, side air, Sandstorm gets the stock. It's evened up. And we've got 3 minutes and 30 seconds left on the clock. Who's going to be going into the grand finals?
Snowy has the axe in hand. He's going to be looking for those chunks. Sandstorm going for the side light in one direction. Gravity cancel side light the other direction. Tosses his weapon away. Gauntlets coming in. Real clutch for Snowy. Hit the D-light into the down air. Sandstorm able to grab the hammer. They're just like trading off back and forth who has weapon advantage.
Yeah, they're going for blow for blow. They keep doing these weapon toss openers, but both are good at avoiding it. But suddenly Snowy's got the momentum. Neutral light. Snowy might do it. Edge guard, ground pound. Snowy's gonna do it. He's going to grand finals. The reverse 3-0.
I was worried about Snowy having to put out this 600 plus damage to get through all the stocks of Sandstorm. He had to do it again, but his health at the end, he didn't take too much damage. Sandstorm was only able to put out 452 throughout that entire game. Snowy, what an incredible player. Look, he's still yellow at this point. It's like every hit he gets is a color change on the health bar. He's going to be coming in with the ground pound. Started it up. Sandstorm touched the wall. No iframes after that. The ground pound.